But let's look at this. I want to talk about wisdom for women to excel in business. And you know, in this book, this is my pride and joy right here. I write a chapter in here in the father-daughter talk. There's a chapter in here which states that a woman must be prepared to earn her own money. Every wise woman gets prepared to earn her own money. And I'm a firm believer in that, being the father of 3 biological daughters and the spiritual father of a multitude. I'm so grateful for that. I believe that women must have a mindset to excel in business, whatever your business is. You have to have a mindset to excel financially, economically. You got to do more than just look pretty. You got to have some money. And so we were kind of dealing with this wisdom for women in business in Chicago, and we talked about some reasons women must succeed. These are some reasons that women must succeed. Number one, you have to set a higher example for the next generation. So the generation of women that's coming behind you, they are following your patterns. They're following your example. And you have to set a higher example for the generations coming on behind you. As you can see, if you just pay attention to the news, we're still living in a predominantly perverted male-dominated society that views women and wants to psychologically subjugate women to nothing more than sexual objects. And we push off language that is clearly perverted, clearly disrespectful, unacceptable. We push it off and we call it locker room talk. Why is that? That's because society is constantly trying to recondition your mind to believe that you should see yourself as nothing more than the sexual object of powerful men. This is why the Father-Daughter Talk conference in 2017, the theme is Queenology. Reconnecting the woman with her queen's psychology. Bringing you to a queen's state of mind, because the world is constantly trying to diminish that. I'm taking too long talking about this, but you have the responsibility as a woman to set a higher example for the next generation. Number two, you were created to dominate. God said, let them have dominion, him and her. And anything less than dominion for you would be misery. Anything less than dominion for a male or a female is misery. When a woman is not dominating, she is miserable. When she marries a man that does not dominate, she is miserable because she was designed to dominate. And a part of dominion is having the means and the resources to do whatever God puts in your heart. You're not dominating anything if you don't have the money to step out and to do what God has called you to do. And God always has a plan and a way for you to come into the means that he has intended for your life. You just simply have to have a mind to do so and a plan of action. Number three, your children's future often falls on your shoulders. This is no longer a day and time when you as a woman can feel certain that some man is going to show up in your life and is going to provide for you and your children effectively or consistently. And quite often, you're left with children. When you discover that a man is not faithful, it's usually after you've had a couple of kids for him that you discover that he's not somebody you can depend on. And so now you're left to fend for yourself, but as well you're left to provide for your children. So you don't have time to sit around here just painting your nails and rounding out your hips and painting your lips. You got to get your money right. You got to get your business in line. My daughter's my business partner. See, that's what I'm talking about. But what if she didn't have a mom that was a dominator? And when I say a dominator, I'm not talking about a masculine woman that takes over and won't let a man be the man, but a woman that has a mindset to tap into everything that God has put within her and to be all that God has created her to be. She's a dominator. I couldn't, be honest with you, I wouldn't want nothing less than a dominator. Now, you got to be a man to have one of those kind of women. That's another lesson for another day. Number 4, it would be a sin to fail to manifest your full potential. If God put millionaire status in you, why would you die on welfare? If God has put millionaire status in you, why would you sit around here and just settle for meager ends? It would be a sin to fail to manifest your full potential. Number 5, there are others who will benefit from your success. There are some people who are waiting on you to manifest, because when you manifest, you're going to be able to open the door for them to manifest. There are people that are waiting for you to manifest. They're waiting on you to get there. They're waiting on you to arrive, because when you arrive, you're going to open the door for them. A lot of you women have to succeed in business, because our daughters, our brilliant young daughters, I hate to say it, more than likely, corporate America, this male-dominated system, is not going to open doors for them. So we need more Oprah Winfreys. Now, I don't know what tip Oprah's on spiritually, but I'm talking about business-wise. You know what I'm talking about. Let's not get it twisted. But we need more Oprah Winfreys. We need, more than women that's on the Shark Tank. Investment, real estate investors and all that kind of stuff. Women that can open doors for other women. And then we need women that are smart enough to know that you need to open doors for sisters coming up and coming behind you. And then number 6, it takes you out of the control of others. You need to succeed, because when you succeed in business, it takes your life out of slave mode. We should have a whole lot more people in here for this. It takes your life out of slave mode. You're not sitting around when you get a business plan and you say, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it, and this is how much money I want to make, and I'm going to succeed at this, and I'm going to do it like this, and you really work that plan, and that plan really works. It takes you out of slave mode. No longer do you have to tolerate a man that's clearly beneath you and disrespectful and doesn't even deserve your company. No longer do you have to tolerate him because you need him to pay your rent or you need him to pay your car note. When you can pay your own house note and buy your own cars cash, you ain't no slave to a man that you really don't want to be bothered with. You don't have to hang around a job where people getting on your nerves and hating on you and all that kind of stuff. Be the boss. Be the boss. It's kind of like football. I like for people to run the score. I don't care if we're up by 75 points to nothing. We got 5 more minutes. We can make 2 more touchdowns. Run the score up. You don't want me running the score up? Stop me. Be the boss. If you don't like your job and you don't like the circumstances you in, be the boss. You don't like it? Stop it. Do something about it. All right, praise the Lord. Now there's a great biblical precedent for female entrepreneurs. There's a great biblical precedent for female entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship. And it's found, she's found rather, in Proverbs 31. You know the Proverbs 31 woman, the virtuous woman. What you learn about her in Proverbs 31, I just kind of listed 22 through 27. I'll just read, but there are many more verses in the full context. It says, she makes herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. He was a powerful man when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law. Is in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looks well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. We see a woman here that was a wife, a mother, employer, an entrepreneur, and even a philanthropist. I get that word twisted up sometimes, so I didn't say it right. Forgive me. Philanthropist. She did it all, and she shows us that it is possible. And it is even godly for a woman to have it all. A woman can have it all and do it all as long as she's like this woman, balanced. But she becomes the biblical precedent for the female entrepreneur. She had a powerful husband, but yet she still had her own businesses. Her husband wasn't no joke. He wasn't no punk. He had some change, but she was making her own money. You know what I believe this Proverbs 31 woman, that couple points to the ideal vision of a kingdom couple, which is the true power couple. This woman baked the biscuits and raised the children, did the homework and all of that other kind of stuff. But she so organized her life that she was able to run businesses, do charity work, dress herself well, take care of her employees. She was able to do it all. She is the biblical precedent of the modern female entrepreneur. Don't let anybody limit you to the bedroom and the kitchen. All you can do is bake biscuits and push out babies, have sex. Man, you got more in you than that. You got more in you than that. And let's just assume that you got a great husband. That's y'all got a great marriage. But who gonna die first? What if he checks out here first, and you kind of like he checks out prematurely, and he don't have his business in order? What you gonna do? All right, let's get into it. So a woman should never feel guilty for having it all. Number one, wisdom for women in business. Number one, when you are a woman in business, you must create an intentional network. You must create an intentional network. Now, I'm just going to take my time and teach this since I started early tonight. I don't have to rush for nothing. Y'all get tired of me, check out and go watch somebody eat a hamburger or something. I'll be here talking when you get through. You must create an intentional network. Because in a world that often disrespects the woman's equality, Brother Felix, good to see you, man. The woman must be intentional about supporting herself. Your sister, watch this. The woman must be intentional about supporting herself. Watch this. Your sister is you. And you are your sister. So when you allow petty jealousy, animosity, all of these things that divide women in a world that's seeking to enslave you anyway, when you allow those things to separate you from your sister, you are separating yourself from your own success. Because the day that women understand, learn how to work together, that is the last day that women will ever have to stoop and bow and beg men for anything. It's kind of like, I said it in Chicago, it's kind of like the black community in America. We have enough resources that we can be our own extremely wealthy nation, but we don't have a concept of community. We have been conditioned to individualism. We know nothing about community. So we do not pool our resources. We do not support one another. And as a consequence, we cannot contain anything, nor can we generate power because we don't work together. Same thing with the woman. The woman that is in business must create an intentional network. Your network determines your net worth. The people you're connected to will determine your capacity to make more money or less. Who are you connecting to? Who are you connecting to? Who are you connecting to? You got to get out of this shell, this stuff talking about I'm shy. Shy is broke. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Last time I saw Shy was broke. And Shy is still broke wherever Shy at today. You got to get out of that, and you got to learn. You got to learn to connect with people intentionally. Go places and put yourself in the mix and connect with people. Introduce yourself to people. Present yourself well. Dress right. Make sure your hygiene is on point. Smile. It may not be your natural personality, but a frown don't get paid. You got to smile. People pay for teeth. If you don't have no teeth, they pay even more for gums. Smile. And build your network. Connect with people. Ecclesiastes 4:9-11 says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. When we working together, we make more money together. We make more together than we do individually. When I combine my platform with your platform, and then she brings and puts her platform and her contacts comes in, and then they come with theirs, man, wow. All of a sudden we made 5 millionaires. Just because of what? Networking. How do you build a network? Adopt a friendly and genuine attitude. A lot of y'all can't network because you have a nasty attitude. Somebody told you that it's cute to walk around frowning and looking like you're more important than everybody else. And all that does for you is that it takes people who are more important than you and it makes them write you off. You got to have a genuine friendly attitude. Proverbs 18:24, man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Number 2, in building a network, never participate in gossip about power players. You can't get into a network where you jealous about the people who are at the top and you dragging for the people, you hating on the people that are at the top. You despising the people who have what you desire to have. You will never attract to yourself what you despise. If I got what you desire and you despise me, you will never attract what's on my life. So the women that you hating on who are already where you want to be are the women you should be celebrating, not hating, not going and talking about them inside of the circle as though it's not going to get back. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 10:20, curse not the king. No, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. Watch this. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. In other words, powerful people will always get the word that you were talking about them. The people that can open the biggest doors for you. Keep your mouth off of these people. Number 1, search your heart and ask yourself, why am I jealous of a person who is modeling what I desire to be? That's a sickness in your mind. Number 3, building your network. Make sure that your product or your presentation is excellent. See, because a lot of y'all putting the price tag on before the quality goes in. You price tagging before you making certain the quality is there. You got to make certain that the quality is there. And then you put the price tag on. But make sure that your product or your presentation is excellent. Don't go out there with it until you know it's excellent. Sometimes you got to give it away for people to test drive it. See if it works for people. If you got stuff for hair, see, like I got this stuff right here. Let me see. And when I first bought this stuff, I said, this don't look like the stuff I normally use. And the lady said, I guarantee you, this stuff here gonna work for you, Reb. And man, so I bought this stuff and I went and I used that stuff. And that stuff worked better than the stuff I had before. But you see, the quality went in. I paid more for that. The quality went in before the price tag went on. You kill yourself many times when you're trying to build a network, when your product is shaky. A lot of times they won't give you a second shot. So make certain that your product is tight before you even go and introduce yourself. You feel me? Bible says of Daniel in Daniel 6:3, Daniel was preferred preferred above the rest because an excellent spirit was in him. And then number 4, in building your network, give some of what you have or some of what you do to those who can bring massive attention. When you're building a network and you see people at the top of the ladder, you don't need to sell them. You need to give them. Why would you come up in a person's office that can make a phone call and put you in the $1 million bracket and try to sell them? You don't sell them. You go in and say, hey, I'm RC Blake's, and what I'm offering is I got these caps, Mofate, and this is, man, look at the work on the inside, and da 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 da. It's the, you know, look at that, established 2016, and I want to give this to you, and I want you to just check it out. Tell me what you think about it. Here's my email. Here's my phone number. Not a long call. Don't tie the people up. Don't tie them up. Give it to them. And then let them call you back and say, man or sister, you got something you working with here. I love it. Da 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 da. I want to make some phone calls. I'm going to put you in touch with some people. And overnight, because you were wise enough to know who to sow into. See, a lot of time, well, let me not get into that. You were wise enough to know who to sow into. And what it does for you is it exposes you in a different stratosphere that you're trying to get into. All right. So number 1, we said you must, as a businesswoman, you must create an intentional network. Number 2, I'm just recapping from Chicago. Hire brand strategist, marketing professional. Yes, that's a woman that y'all can listen to right there. Let me sew into you. That's not really my hat. That's one of my sons in the Houston church. Number 2, arrange your world for intentional inspiration. Every businesswoman, every entrepreneur, every female entrepreneur must arrange her world for intentional inspiration, because business success and creativity are largely tied to the level of personal inspiration the individual has within herself. Living an inspired life will exponentially elevate and increase everything pertaining to your life. So you have to arrange your world for intentional inspiration. There's nothing worse. See, I don't care what you produce. Ultimately, you are the product. And if you are broken, your product is broken. So you have to wake up every day inspired. That means you need to go to sleep. That means you need to get people out of your life that drain you. You need to get everything out of your life that brings you down, because when you wake up tomorrow morning, you have to be inspired. You have to be on top of your game as an individual. Your product will suffer. I don't care if you're selling cars, you're just not going to do it the same. I don't care if you're doing hair, you're going to burn somebody's hair out their head tomorrow if you don't wake up inspired. I don't care if you're preaching, you're going to mess that sermon up Sunday if you do not wake up inspired. You have to arrange your world for intentional inspiration. To be inspired literally means to live in spirit. You have to learn to live your life in the spirit. Some things I mentioned that will inspire you. Keys to staying inspired. Listening to the voices of people who have done it already. The thing you're trying to do, listening to the voices of people who have done it will inspire you. Some of y'all need to get off of all of these reality shows and get to YouTube and search out the people who have already done what you're trying to do and listen to their stories. You'll be amazed at how different it will set your attitude in a different place, just listening to somebody who's already done what you're trying to do. Number 2, monitoring your environment for things that deflate your enthusiasm and replacing those things with the things that lift you. Some of y'all not inspired because your house is filthy. You'd be amazed at how inspired you'd be if you clean your house up. You're laying down in a filthy room. You got all that stuff everywhere. Clean your house. Nothing inspires me more like a clean house. When I come home and see that they got all this green stuff now, they got keep it green, and I appreciate all that and everything. The people come clean the house, they come with that green stuff. I told Lisa, clean have a smell. That green stuff don't have no smell. Clean have a smell. Now, I like to smell my house when I walk in. When I smell that bleach, woo, boy, I get inspired. Now that green stuff, y'all can keep all that. I know y'all sophisticated and everything, but I got to have some bleach. I want to smell some Clorox. I want to smell it. It inspires me just to smell it, because clean has a smell. Thirdly, you ought to stay spiritually balanced, or staying spiritually balanced, rather, is vital to inspiration. Don't get so caught up in the rat race that you don't take care of your spirit. Okay, main point number 3. Number 1, we said every businesswoman must create an intentional network. Number 2, she must arrange her world for intentional inspiration. Number 3, the businesswoman should always deliver greater value than she charges for. Deliver greater value than you charge for. Never let a person look at what you're producing and saying, man, I wonder if it's worth it. Always have people leaving away saying, my God, this is all? Now, all may be, maybe a big number, but what you're producing should be greater than that number. Don't come and charge me 1,000 and you really just producing 500. Deliver greater value than you charge for. Put yourself in an unforgettable position. Deliver excellence at a price that profits you and makes it impossible many times for your customers to even ever replace you. Don't sell yourself short or cheap. My wife and I just had a conversation about that. But put yourself in a position that when they leave you, if they had to go somewhere and get the same quality, under promise, over deliver. That's it. Become unforgettable. I never forget people who over deliver. I mean, they promoted this, and then I got there. They gave me this, and this. Wow. Under promise, over deliver. Most business people over promise, trying to get people in the door, and they under deliver. And they usually only have a one-time interaction. When you under promise and you over deliver, you've gained a customer or partner for life. But deliver greater value than you charge. Your greatest asset is ongoing relationships. In every transaction, the proprietor should be certain to leave a deposit in the life of every customer. Always give more than expected. It makes you unforgettable. Write down 2 Corinthians 9 and 10. Let me go to main point number 4. Always model success. These are wisdom keys for women in business. Always model success. Look like success, man. Walk like success. Talk like success. Sometimes the greatest thing you may do for your business is to change your look to a corporate image. You are your first billboard. Sometimes we're keeping it so real, we're keeping it really broke. Sometimes what's holding you back from business success is your image. See, you can't step into a corporate boardroom and talk about you want to get paid $25,000 to motivate CEOs and all this kind of stuff of Fortune 500 companies, dressed like one of the old sisters at the Baptist church with the red suit, with the material that looked like you can make drapes out of it, and rhinestones everywhere, big old hat with the peacock feathers sticking out of it and all that. You gotta go corporate. You gotta go corporate. You gotta look like the people you're trying to reach. It's one of the hardest things I have with young preachers, young male preachers. They want to dress like pimps. They want to dress like pimps. They want to wear all these loud colors and all these different buttons all on the cuff of the pant, 25 different buttons on the jacket. You know, just stuff everywhere. Just, I don't know, man, just everything. Just stuff everywhere. Just everywhere, like a spacesuit. And I'm like, wow, man, your message is too great to be dressed like this. People are going to be distracted. And, you know, you got this generation about, keep it real, keep it real. The reality is this. If you don't look like it, people don't believe you are it. And you have another joker that knows how to dress and he don't have nothing but air between his ears. But he knows how to dress. He looks like it, so people believe he is. They believe that he is it. They believe that she is it. You got to dress like where you want to go. Zoot suits. That's exactly what they are. Zoot suits. Get out of that stuff, man. Get you a black. Look at Barack Obama. Get you a black, blue, gray, you know, some black shoes. You don't need no red gaiters and all of that. White shirts, pretty much. Just white shirts. Put your white square in there. Back to the sisters. Always model success. People don't usually transact great business with people that look broke. Get your hair washed, you know. People looking at you. If you ain't got to wash your own hair. You don't have to go and get no $75 on your nails. Clip your nails. Put some clear on it. Look like, you know, Ecclesiastes 9:16 says, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised. Now, my question was this. It says, and his words are not heard. How did they know that the poor man was a poor man? Did he go and say, I'm poor? He looked like it. Now, the sad thing is that some of y'all have resources and means, and you just have no concern at all about your image. So you look busted. And as a consequence, you have flatlined, you've stalled, because you got to look like the next level before somebody will invite you to step into it. All right. I think I lost them on that one, Lee. Number 5, I only have 6. This is wisdom for women in business. I said, number 1, you must create an intentional network. Number 2, I said you have to arrange your world for intentional inspiration. You got to always be inspired. Number 3, you have to deliver greater value than you charge. Number 4, you have to always model success. Number 5, invest, watch this, in an online presence. How you doing business and you're not online? You got to look like the next level before anybody will invite you to step into it. You can go, I guarantee you can go to a job that the people hired you for and you go there dressed the wrong way. You might not even be able to finish that day before they find a reason to get rid of you. You got to look like the next level before you be invited to step into it. Number 5, you got to invest in an online presence. Everything today is electronic. Everything is electronic. Even in church, people are moving away from cash, been away from cash for the most part, and they're even moving away from checks. People want to use their cards in church. Everything is internet. If you don't have a high-end presence via social media or personal website, you are really not even in the marketplace. You mean to tell me you out here talking about you making money and you don't even have a website? You don't have a Facebook page? What you do? You don't have a Facebook page? You ain't got no Instagram? Man, I'm 52 years old. I'm on Instagram. I was going to get on Snapchat, but my children told me, no, don't do that. You're too old, Pops. They said, don't do it. So I said, I better leave that alone. I might go over there and see some stuff I don't need to see. So I stayed away from Snapchat. Man, listen, you got to be where people at. You sitting around there broke, and I ask you, my business is failing, my business not working. Show me your Facebook page. I don't have that. I don't have that. Where your Instagram? I don't have that. Are you on Periscope? No, I don't know how to do all that. See, you don't want nothing. The people, the market is on the internet, and you don't even have a website. And you wondering why you broke. When people looking for your kind of business, they're not riding up and down the street. They don't go to the phone book no more. They Googling. And they're looking for websites that they can hit and kind of get a feel for what you do, who you are, if you somebody they want to meet or not. And you don't even have a website. You sitting around here talking about you're a businesswoman. You ain't no businesswoman. You ain't got no website. Every preacher should have a website, and if nothing else, should be on Facebook. Every preacher. Every preacher. You crying about you ain't got no people, and you not on Facebook. You need to be in there by yourself. You need to be in there by yourself. Google your name. That's exactly right. I got some talk for you. Watch this. See, the purpose of the online presence, again, is this. It is where the people are. You want to put yourself in the way of the people that you need to discover you. Why you think I'm sitting on this Periscope at nights when I'm tired? Sometimes I don't feel well. It's because the people that need to know me are on Periscope. You got to put yourself in the way of the people that need to discover you. What are you doing to put yourself in the way of people that need to discover you? You don't really need billboards no more. The Lord fixed this thing. You don't really need to have no $10,000 radio commercials running, no TV commercials. When you get to the point you do all that, fine. If you want to do all of that, if you want to do it, all you got to do is get your phone out and hit the button and go to talking and have some content that people want to hear. And you're going to put yourself in the way of the people that need to discover you. Let me show you. In Luke chapter 19, verses 3 through 6. Y'all falling off? Y'all getting tired of me? It says, and he sought to see Jesus, talking about Zacchaeus, who he was, and could not for the crowd because he was little of stature. He was a short man. He couldn't see Jesus. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste, come down, for the day I must abide at thy house. I'm going home with you. And he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. Look what Zacchaeus did. Zacchaeus said, I'm short, there's a crowd. He cannot see me in this crowd, so I'm going to run ahead of the crowd. I'm going to climb up in that tree because I can see the path is going by that tree. I'm going to climb up in that tree so when he gets there, he will see me and notice me. And Jesus saw him and noticed him and said, come on down. I'm going home with you today. You got to find your sycamore tree. You got to find that thing that puts you up and above the crowd and makes you stand out to the people that you need to discover you. You got to have an internet presence. If you don't have an internet presence tomorrow, if you don't have the money to pay for one, you need to go and research. They got all kinds of website stuff that you can put something decent together. Don't throw it out there if it ain't right. You got all this misspelling in there. Make sure somebody check it. Go get you some real pictures taken so you can put a professional photo on there. See, if you ain't ready to invest in yourself and your image, you ain't ready for no business, no way. Don't go out there with no little camera phone picture, J.C. Penney's picture. Go get you a real photographer to take some real pictures and build you a little website. If you don't do no more than build a web page with your picture smiling, you looking good, dressed right, this is who I am, this is what I do, call me. But you got to put yourself in a place where the people who need you can discover you. Then number 6, and finally, technology is ruining a lot of things. Sure, it's ruining a lot of things, but it's definitely blessing a lot of businesses. Yeah, internet technology is killing a whole lot of stuff, but I'm talking about increasing business now. Internet is killing spirituality. People don't want to go to church no more. They want to sit and stream it at the house. It's killing relationships. People don't talk no more. They pressing on the phone, going through Facebook. But it's blowing businesses up. And right now I'm talking about how to blow your business up. And really and truly, to be honest with you, once your business start blowing up, you don't have time to be sitting there using the internet for the other stuff that other people using, that, pornography and all that. You ain't got time. When you making money, you ain't got time to be messing with no pornography. Number 6, and finally, you gotta, as a businesswoman, you must increase your mastery of money. Nothing worse than making money and wasting money. Let me say that one more time. Nothing worse, and I've done it, than making money and wasting money. Nothing worse than looking over the last decade and say, man, I made $3 million over the last 10 years, and I don't have $300,000 saved. Nothing worse than making money and wasting money. And what's going on with women? Y'all making a lot of money. A lot of y'all making money, but you ain't got nothing. Your credit bad. You're making all this money. You sharp. You sharp, man. You Saks Fifth Avenue sharp, but you broke. You all style and no substance. You got the bag, but ain't no money in it. You got every Louis bag they got and no money in it. Somebody can put a gun on you right now with your bad Louis bag and tell you, come up with $1,000 out of that bag, I'm blowing your brains out. All you can do is fall on your knees. Fall on your knees and call on Jesus. You're going to tear up all them expensive stockings because you ain't got no money in it. You making a whole lot of money, but you broke because you bought into the slave conditioning that to be a boss woman is to have red bottoms and in the red. I'd rather see you with some tan bottoms. You know what tan bottoms? That means that's them Walmart shoes with the plastic bottom. And have some money in your pocket than to see you with red bottoms and you in the red. Here you making all this money, you don't have a dime. You can't afford to even be sick. If you got sick and couldn't work your business for a month, you in trouble. Don't do it. Bishop Roberson would tell you. You got to master money. You got to make this money. You got to manage this money. You got to multiply this money, and you got to master this money. You mastering it when you're multiplying it. See, you're working for this money now, but now you got to get to the next level where you manage that money and you invest that money, and then that money go to working for you. So when you sleep in that money working for you, and the day will come that you won't have to get up and work for a dime. All you have to do is put your slippers on, go to your mailbox, or hit your iPad. There it is. That money working for me. How long do you think you're going to be able to work like this? Why make all this money and you have nothing but a closet full of stuff? You got to buy another house just to hold all that stuff you got. You're looking like a hoarder. You got all this stuff just thrown all over the house. Just people don't realize there's a bunch of new stuff with tags still on it. You just done lost your mind. You don't know what to do with money. And so you done went through all of this to be a successful businesswoman, and you still a failure because you're working hard, you're making all this money, you still ain't got nothing but things. You ain't got nothing but things. Some of y'all right now, you got to put all your clothes in them bags and got to bring them down to the storage because you don't have no more room in your house. That's terrible. Well, what do you need with all that? And you have nothing. Nothing. You don't even have good credit. Somebody had to tell you. Somebody had to tell you. You don't even have good credit. Praise the Lord. Ecclesiastes 10:19 says, a feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry, but money answereth all things. Money answers all things. There's some situations, babe, you're just going to have some money. And as a businesswoman, say, okay, let me help you. Let me help you. There are opportunities that will be afforded you. Okay, watch this. You've been on this level, okay, and you've produced excellently at this level. Now watch this. Somebody can come into your world tomorrow and say, look, here's an opportunity. I want to take you from here to here. All we need to come up with for you to put yourself in a position to make another $5 million more a year is you to come up with $100,000. And now you sitting there with your eyes bucking because you ain't got a dime. You can't even take advantage of it. Somebody can come and offer you you can buy the White House for $150,000 cash. Now, you've been making $1 million a year for the last 10 years, and you don't even have $150,000 cash. You got to have money. See, you're going to have resources to go to the next level. And if you don't have money, I think that every businesswoman, in conjunction with her getting coaches to help her maximize her craft or whatever it is she's doing, in conjunction with her getting mentors and putting herself in networks with people who are doing it at the highest level, I think every woman should have somebody to sit her down and teach her extensively about money and how money flows and functions today. And I'm not talking about a preacher like me that can just talk in generalities. We need somebody that is Wall Street savvy. Every woman on here that's a businesswoman, you need to find somebody that's Wall Street savvy. Ask them, what should I start reading? What should I start listening to? Every woman on here businesswoman should have the Wall Street Journal. You should be talking to somebody, getting somebody to teach you and train you about money and how to invest it. Where to put it, when to pull it out. Just like you have a coach for all of the other things, you need a money coach. You need somebody that will teach you. Dr. G, absolutely, is a great one. Teach you where to put your money, what the market is doing, what it's looking like. Bull versus bear. You know, Dr. G talks about all of that, metals and all. You just need somebody to teach you. You need education. We all need it. Because now you gotta. Why would you make room for God to bless you with more, and then you don't make, provision to maintain it and to contain it? Why go out a silly woman when you can go out a queen? Dave Ramsey, absolutely. Every woman should invest. If that's every woman should invest in some. Women and men, all of us need to do it. Should invest. Yeah, that Finance for Dummies book. All those for Dummies books are great. Go to Barnes and Noble and look for Dummies book, Investing for Dummies. All of those kind of books are absolutely fantastic. It may offend you, but you're dumb. You don't know anything in this area. And that's what it's made for people like us. I'm a preacher. I'm quick to say that. I tell my daughters and my sons, don't ever be afraid to tell me I'm doing something wrong. Because I'm a preacher. I don't know nothing about all this other stuff. I'm a student as well as I'm a teacher. But every woman on here should have somebody in your life, either in person or in proxy. You can go to the library and leave out with 10 different mentors. 10 different financial mentors. Read. I was reading one of my daughter's books today. It's by my daughter Ashley Martin. Focus. I'm sitting out on the driveway reading her book today. I'm starting to pick my reading up again. I kind of got off track, but I'm about to start reading a lot because I got to expand this. See, this has to expand before this expands. Every woman on here needs to get somebody. You need to go and download a book tonight. Somebody to teach you about money. And then watch this. Repent for having messed it up. Repent for having squandered it. And then mark your plans out how you're going to do better. What's going to be different over the next 6 weeks? How much money are you going to save? How much money are you going to put back? How many credit cards are you going to pay down? You know, you got these credit cards with all of them maxed out. And you may be paying them on time, but your credit score is still horrible because you got to be below that 50% mark. You need to, if you got all of them maxed out, you need to pay, if you got 3 of them, you need to probably pay 2 of them off. Get 2 of them paid off so that you don't have any balances sitting on that. It's going to help your credit score rise. Then you need to show some money saved somewhere. You got to just begin to educate yourself. Begin to educate yourself. You know, because it is, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We got to learn to love knowledge. Stop using credit cards. Only keep one for emergency. That's not a bad thing at all. You know, and you keep that there, and you keep that balance down, and that your score just flying, zooming. So that's my little spiel for tonight.